Bring back our girls, the words in the mouth of all Nigerians and, of course, everyone in the world. On that note, I welcome you to this week's episode of the program Around Africa, where we bring to you top issues rocking the continent. And on the program today, we would be looking at the missing girls, the abducted girls in Nigeria. I'm being joined by Ejiro Onobrakbeya. He's an African tourism consultant. Good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, it's no more news. Nigerian girls have been abducted for over a month. And as it stands now, we've got some international help. But first, let's examine Nigerian government involvement. Would you say Nigerian government have done enough in search of these girls?
Well, first of all, information is not flowing properly. And secondly, it took the international world to highlight the problem, to bring to the whole world what is happening, before the Nigerian government started to respond. It was actually a reactionary thing. And what I would have thought was that the Nigerian government would take responsibility from beginning to ensure that children who are in the care of their parents, their family and society are not abused. So I think that a lot still should have been done prior to now.
Okay, now, there have been informations that some Nigerian army are having this kind of fear. They've not been really committed, according to the U.S. Air Marshal. Would you want to agree with the fact that Nigerian army have not really been committed to fighting this insurgency?
Well, you must understand that the concept of militancy, where it relates to Boko Haram, has been difficult for Nigerian government to deal with. Now, I like to look at militancy from different perspectives. If you look at the militancy of the Niger Delta, they had a core purpose, which was the self-determination based on what was happening to them and the fact that their area was bringing out oil. So to an extent, I said, okay, they were fighting for a purpose. Even the international world came to their, but the concept of Boko Haram has become an endemic challenge to Nigeria. Why do I say endemic challenge? First of all, we're talking about people who do not have value for their own lives and property. And so therefore, they will not have value for other people's lives and property. So that they go out, they destroy themselves, and in the process, destroy people. But let's look at the origin of all this. The culture and the religion of the North, which is the Islamic culture, is one that, in my own opinion, somehow perpetrates violence. Now, I would not say all Northerners are violent or all Northerners are extreme religious bigots. But I would say that those ones that have taken it to another level have now tarnished the image of the good Northerners. So, in my own opinion, they are wielding power and over people. And it is a difficult thing for Nigerians to understand why they must rain so much violence. We must be able to live together as one. We must understand each other. Our lives, we must be our brother's keeper. But where people now use militancy of that sort, kill people, it becomes a great challenge.
Now, it becomes a great challenge. It's another question that we really have to look at. Don't forget that during the period where we had this, where the girls were abducted, there was an emergency rule in that state.
Yes.
What would you say was the role of the army at that point?
Well, the army has always had problem with tackling Boko Haram. They've always had problem with tackling areas where Boko Haram has penetrated. It appears as if the army, either they have people within the army that are giving the Boko Haram information or something. Somehow, the army has not been able to tackle the Boko Haram. The Boko Haram people use very sophisticated weapons. Secondly, they are very intelligent people. Their leadership is very intelligent. Thirdly, the people that are of the lower ranks, they take instructions without asking questions. I would like to think that the basic foundational training of the average Northerner, which starts with probably the Quranic school, which they recite and recite and recite, and then they are more or less subservient, totally and extremely, to the leadership, either the royal leadership or their spiritual leadership. But now in this case, it appears that the royal leadership is failing. They are not able to call these core extremists to order. So this makes a major problem for Nigeria.
Now, talking about weapons, now, does that mean that the Boko Haram sect have more sophisticated weapons than our Nigerian army?
It is possible. Don't forget that there has been wars all around Africa and all around the world. Look at Syria, Libya. There's been wars everywhere. Now, the weapons that they use in those wars are able to filter to other places. Don't let us forget that our borders are porous. And if you go to the ports, there's almost nothing they don't import into this country. So these weapons of war have filtered into Nigeria, and they've gotten into the hands of the highest bidders. I believe that the Boko Haram people are properly funded. They are also affiliated. I'm not sure about it, but they may be affiliated to bigger terrorist organizations all over the world that are propagating this concept of Western ideology, Western education, and belief that the woman child, her place is just domestic. She's not supposed to go to school. I mean, I think those ideals are out of place in today.
Now, if you are suggesting that probably it's coming from one of these porous borders, also in the borders we have security agencies like the customs, immigrations, and other security people. Why haven't they done something right? In making sure things get.
Well, you and I know that corruption in Nigeria is a challenge, and it cuts across all areas. So the border posts is not an exception. It is Nigerians that are there until we can deal specifically with the value system of the people and let them understand that Nigeria is for everybody. And so if we all benefit, it's to our advantage. If there's a problem, it's to our loss. Until we can understand that, then we'll still have all these different ideas and opinions. We'll still have porous borders, we still have corruption, we still have religious bigotry, we still have ethnic rivalry and those kind of things. So the value system, there must be a change in the value system. People should begin to look at things as nationalists rather than ethnic people. Ethnic people, in my own opinion, it doesn't matter who rules this country as long as he's competent. We should move from this concept of ethnicity, religious ideology. We should look for a man that understands how to transform us and take us to the promised land.
All right. Now, good to know that international community has finally stepped into the aid of these girls. Let's listen to some of the notable personalities as far as the search for these girls is concerned. And when we come back, we'll look at the impact of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign, how well it has impacted in the search for these girls.
My husband and I are outraged and heartbroken over the kidnapping of more than 200 Nigerian girls from their school dormitory in the middle of the night. This unconscionable act was committed by a terrorist group determined to keep these girls from getting an education. Grown men attempting to snuff out the aspirations of young girls. And I want you to know that Barack has directed our government to do everything possible to support the Nigerian government's efforts to find these girls and bring them home.
Today I spoke with President Goodluck Jonathan on behalf of President Obama and offered, on behalf of President Obama, offered America's support for Nigeria in their response to this crisis. Our embassy in Abuja is prepared to form a coordination cell that could provide expertise on intelligence, investigations, and hostage negotiations, and to help facilitate information sharing and victim assistance. And President Goodluck Jonathan was very happy to receive this offer and ready to move on it immediately. And we are immediately engaging in order to implement this.
Well, the first thing is to locate the girls. It's every parent's nightmare that your daughter or son could be kidnapped and you never see them again, and particularly so since the danger is they're being trafficked into other countries as sex slaves. So I've been working with the United Kingdom government, the States government, now China and France, to give the resources for surveillance, for locating these girls, satellite, but also, of course, air cover. And I hope we can have a special push in the next few days to see if we can find the girls. But we've also got to make the schools safe for other girls and other boys who are afraid of the terrorists. And so we're launching with the Nigerian government today a Safe Schools initiative. We've got the business community in Nigeria, the Global Business Coalition on Education, and we've got many people in the international community prepared to contribute to this. So we want to make the schools safe for the future so that girls can go to school as they should be able to do.
All right, of course, beautiful support there coming from top notable people around the world. But looking at the commitment from the United States, of course, we saw the wife of the President, President Barack Obama, spoke, and of course, John Kerry, and not forgetting about the former British Prime Minister, all drumming supports for these missing girls. But overall, would you say this international involvement so far has really yielded any fruit?
Well, in all honesty, it is important that the whole world knows what is happening and comes to help. You know, but you see, there are also consequences of. No, let me go back. It is important that the whole world understands what's going on. It is also important that they come to help. Now, let us not turn all this into a propaganda or a jamboree. Let us have concerted efforts that will ensure that these Boko Haram people either release the girls or come to some kind of table for negotiation. What is paramount to me is the life of those girls. What is important is also their well-being. Are they eating now? I hope those people of them that are having, they're human beings, they will be ill. Are they being taken care of? It's important. I think the government should get into those discussions. Are they okay? I hope nobody is dying among them. All this is very important. Let it not just be a propaganda from all over the world. Oh, bring back our girls, bring back our girls. This is good. Let us not also forget that these kidnappings is not a new development. It's not a new development. It has probably been happening before, but it is just now that because international bodies have come, people have come together to speak about the ills of it, that everybody is talking about it. But if you look at the image of those girls, there were definitely more than 400 girls there. So where did those other girls come from? They must have been kidnapped at some point or the other earlier in the year or last year. So the effort of the international world is important. But I would like to say that the military efforts of the international world, I would not like it to appear as if the internal security of a sovereign country called Nigeria has been outsourced to the Western world. Now, if that happens, it has consequences. We have cases of Afghanistan, Iraq, where international, international police and international army are there 2-3 years. Things escalate, and even the government of that country cannot control what the foreign soldiers come to do. So we must be careful about that. If their involvement is more like a technical assistance, yes, we may understand that, but not where the security of a sovereign country is outsourced. That security is the responsibility of the country. And the people in the country, the leaders in the country must understand that the people are depending on them for the security of their lives and their property. Otherwise, they have failed.
All right. Now, also looking at the fact that this protest and, of course, the call for bring back our girls is not just a Nigerian phenomenon. In Lagos, in Abeokuta, in all parts of Nigerians, there have been protests. And, of course, some days ago, we saw protests in Kenya. Yeah. People carrying placards, and then Washington, D.C., everywhere, London, everywhere around the world. Do you think this would anyway put these guys under pressure to release these girls?
Well, not necessarily. But I think more than that, it will put the government under pressure to push their efforts. It will put them under pressure, and it will put them on their toes, so that it is very clear that, look, the whole world is watching to see how this pans out. This is not like Nigeria where, oh, there's an issue, and then after some time, it dies down. It's not going to die down until those girls have been found. It's not going to die down to those guys. I just believe that the Boko Haram people are actually feeling very happy that they have gotten international attention. I believe so. But it may not change their mind. It is now left for the government to design and execute strategies that will ensure that there is some kind of negotiation where those girls, their lives, the lives of those girls is paramount in all this. And those girls, they must all be, one by one, they must be released, and they must be released alive.
Now, are you saying this is a true test of President Goodluck Jonathan's, governmental ability?
It will be, to a large extent. How the government eventually reacts, what they do, how they deliver information to people, how they respond, the timing of the response, the way they respond, all this is very important because the whole world is watching.
All right, now, still talking about Bring Back Our Girls, very, very touching song here from an international artist. When I saw this online, I just couldn't help but said we should really see how people are very, very interested in these girls from Andre Lane. Let's listen to the song, and when we come back, we'll get more reactions.
School dormitory in the middle of the night.
In a blink, they were taken without a choice. With no reason, they were taken without a voice. So very young, I know that they are so afraid. But hold on, we gotta take this day by day. Let us pray and keep their faces in our minds, and let us hope from fading in the wind. Let's stand up, we can go the distance. We have to come together as one. Look into their eyes, let's give them our attention, 'cause we're on a mission called their life, 'cause we can bring the darkness to the light. Listen, bring back our girls, bring back our girls. We can win with everybody staying strong. We can make it right when something was done so wrong. Look into their eyes, their innocence betrayed. But be strong, don't let their young hearts fade. Let us pray and keep their faces in our minds, and keep our hope from fading in the wind. Let's stand up, we can go the distance. We have to come together as one. Look into their eyes, let's give them our attention, 'cause we're on a mission called their life, 'cause we can bring the darkness to the light. We have to make it known, have to keep our hearts warm, and not give in to senseless, thoughtless plans. We have the strength to grow and let them know that we will fight and not give in to fear. Let's stand come together as one. Look into their eyes. Let's give them our attention. 'Cause we're on a mission called their life. 'Cause we can bring the darkness into light. Listen, bring back our girls. Bring back our girls. Bring back our girls.
A very, very touchy song there, and I really hope that the Boko Haram guys will really get to see this song someday, and then it would touch them in their heart to release these girls. But what's your pulse? How do you feel about the song?
Well, it's a deep. It makes people think deeply about what is going on. I don't know if the hearts of the Boko Haram people will soften with such a song, but you and I seeing such a song, we are moved. We are moved into some kind of action, and it's a great thing.
It's a great thing. Now, quickly, the fear now is that Nigerian army, there are a lot of bad eggs there. With all what is going on, do you see any way out of this now? Because the foreign guys cannot work without using our Nigerian army. Do you see, what's the way forward?
Well, the way forward is that the American and the other foreign army are properly trained. They have modern technology. They have gone through the basics, and they understand. They should give us technical partnership, and they should, maybe at the end of all this, they will have, the soldiers will have broader perspective. They'll be able to see things better, and then, there should even be further trainings of these people so that they'll be able to react to this kind of thing quickly, timely, and effectively.
Finally, before I let you go on the program, there are these fears. Of course, some of the placards you see there, they said real men don't buy women. And there's this Boko Haram leader came out to say that he's going to sell these girls, and it's really causing a lot of fear, panic around the world. And there are also some indications that some of these girls may have been dead.
Possibly, we're not sure. But we should have hope, because we don't have information about anything now. We should just have hope that they are all alive and they are well. But don't forget that the Islamic culture has always treated young girls like that, pushed young girls of that age into marriage or into some kind of slavery. So, you see, it's not a problem that is there now. I think it's a cultural problem. It's an orientation problem. And until we deal fully with those orientations and those ideals, then we can move forward. So after these girls have been gotten, there must be a way out whereby people begin to change the way they perceive young girls, especially in the Islamic religion, and deal with them. So that's my take on that.
Do you see the girls coming out alive?
Yes, I do. I'm positive that they will come out alive.
All right, of course, on that note, that's where we'll be drawing the curtain for the program today. I definitely hope, too, that these girls will come back alive. Let the protests continue. Let's all chant with one voice, bring back our girls. Ejiro, thank you very much for coming on the program. I hope next time you're obliged to our call.
I'll be too happy to come.
All right, of course, my name is Brownson. One more time, let's do it again next week. And of course, like I said earlier, we really hope that in a very, very short time, we'll all, just like we are carrying placards and shouting, bring back our girls, we'll have a sweeter song to sing when these girls are released. My name is Brownson. Have a wonderful day.